Wike, 12 orders recommended for visa ban. I think Wike has stepped on toes now. They think done too much. Now, visa ban has been recommended for Wike now and other 12 people. And what could have caused that, we need to know. Let's just dive straight into the details to understand exactly what happened here. Inter-society demands FCT minister sack, life ban from holding public office for Nigeria. You think that will happen? The APC government under Tinubu is enjoying the fellowship with Wike, enjoying what he's doing for them. So who will ban him from politics in Nigeria? It's not the same APC that has taken over everywhere. You know, the Wike himself is in PDP in dotted lines. He's fully in APC, body, soul, and spirit. So he's an APC child. And you know what they said? No matter how big your sins are, once you join APC, your sins are forgiven. But again, let's still dive in. The International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law, Inter-Society, has called for the sack of Nyesom Wike, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory FCT, and for him to be banned alongside 12 other key perpetrators for life from holding public offices and permanently denied entry visas into the Western world and other advanced democracies. The Western world, are they to be trusted? You can't trust them. He stated that the over 1,560 victims had included 130 dead victims, 150 deadly wounded victims, 620 tortured victims, 40 surgically abused victims, 620 abducted victims, and 152 disappeared victims who became heinous crimes victims following the Nigerian Army's war-grade invasion and deadly use of force that lasted for 20 days, October 21 to November 10, 2020. The organization added that the Army's war-grade invasion and deadly use of force was brought by former Governor Nyesom Wike's statewide broadcast of October 21, 2020, inviting soldiers of the Nigerian Army to flush out IPOB terrorists in the area who killed 6 soldiers and 4 policemen and burned police stations. So in recognition of the group's contribution in engendering rule of law across Southeast Zone, a prestigious award was over the weekend presented by the Correspondents Chapel of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Enugu State Council, and handed over by the president of the NUJ, Dr. Chris Isiguzo, who flew in from Abuja with his entourage. On the ground to receive the prestigious award on behalf of the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law were Professor Jerry Chukwokoro, Emeka Umagbalase, a criminologist and board chair of Inter-Society, Anayo Okoli, a board member and a Southeast Bureau chief of the Vanguard newspapers, and Chidema Udegbunam, Esquire, a respected human rights lawyer and head of campaign and publicity of the organization. So a statement issued by the Inter-Society to celebrate the award reads, the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law, Inter-Society, and the Equincy Research Institute, an organization in Chicago, United States, have joined hands in producing the international report above mentioned. The Inside Wike's bloody era in Obigbo, Rivers State, an unspeakable account of the Nigerian Army war-grade invasion, crackdown, and deadly use of force, is an international report involving 3 years of detailed criminological investigations and field data collection and compilation by Inter-Society's team of investigators led by Emeka Umagbalase, a university-trained criminologist and graduate of security studies and postgraduate expert in peace studies and conflict resolution. So the international report was produced for Inter-Society and Equincy Research Institute, USA, and it is 32 pages containing 12 sections including investigative summary, local, regional, and international legal frameworks, list of the slain, the wounded, the abducted, and the disappeared, and the rescued. Included in the report are the general accounts of the massacre and abductions, 10 group photos of the victims, list of the key perpetrators, numbering 13, and their photos, as well as the recommendation. The Nigerian Army massacre in Obigbo, Rivers State, a densely Igbo populated area, occurred as a result of the NSAS protests across Nigeria in October 2020 and crude and deadly crackdown measures adopted by the Nigerian Society Security Forces. So the NSAS protests were organized by aggrieved citizens against atrocious conduct of the dreaded Special Anti-Robbery Squad SARS of the Nigerian Police Force, swiftly renamed SWAT and restored as SARS since 2022. So in the killings and property destructions that followed, estimated number of deaths was put at no fewer than 400 defenseless citizens and scores of police personnel and soldiers across the country, during which properties worth billions of naira were burnt down or wantonly destroyed. Lagos State, where not less than 130 defenseless persons were killed and properties worth billions lost, was the hardest hit. So the NSAS protest took a violent dimension on October 2020, October 20, 2020, following widely suspected recruitment of Islamic hoodlums by the then Buhari-led government of Nigeria to counter the protests, attack the protesters, leading to killings of dozens of peaceful protesters and burning down or wanton destruction of their properties. So the above appear to have been sinisterly hatched so as to make the protest look like all Southern Christians affair. So with intent to force the peaceful protest to become violent, leading to the Nigerian Army killing of October 20, 2020 at Lekki Tollgate in Lagos State, during which not less than 20 defenseless protesters were killed and over 30 others deadly injured. So in Rivers State, South Nigeria, Governor Nyesom Wike, as he then was, took the protest personal and turned same into a political weapon and settlement of scores with leadership of IPOB. So he not only incited security agencies, including police and army against Igbo residents in Obigbo and environs, but also politicized the mob killing of some security personnel during the NSAS protest in Rivers State as terrorist acts perpetrated by IPOB. This was even when dozens of defenseless citizens were also shot at close range and killed during the protest by soldiers and police personnel in the state and the rest of the country, where not less than 400 unarmed citizens and dozens of security personnel, including soldiers and police personnel, also lost their lives. So in addition to the politicization of the Obigbo NSAS protest, Governor Nyesom Wike, as he then was in October 21, 2020, declared a curfew in Obigbo and environs and invited Nigerian Army to flush out IPOB terrorists in the area, who killed 6 soldiers and 4 police personnel and burnt police stations. So in response, the northern Muslim-dominated the controlled Nigerian Army under former Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, as he then was, went on unspeakable execution of ethnic and religious cleansing by unleashing war-grade invasion and massacre targeting defenseless residents of Obigbo and environs, and in the end, no fewer than 130 defenseless residents were killed, 150 deadly injured, and 540 men and 80 women of productive age brackets abducted. Dozens, about 40 of the 80 abducted Obigbo women, were also allegedly to have been sexually abused in military captivity. Oh boy, this one is a serious one. Okay, so with all of these, what is this guy trying to say? What is he trying to say? So now, the countries of EU, Canada, UK, Brazil, Israel, USA, and others are called upon to take special diplomatic note for purpose of internationally blacklisting and isolating former government Minister Wike in particular and 12 other key perpetrators generally mentioned or listed in the page 26 of the report, the attention of the Hague-based International Criminal Court is also drawn and called upon to act timely against the listed key perpetrators so as to deter others and bring justice home to the voiceless and defenseless victims. Igbo people and organizations in diaspora are also called upon to rise against those that are involved in the Obigbo Army massacre and abduction and compel them to disclose the whereabouts of 152 other abductees yet to be located more than 3 years after their abduction. The action required from the global Igbo people include tracking down the named perpetrators in foreign land and getting them to pay heavily through civil claimant litigations or suits and arrested and kept behind bars in such countries, especially those with international or universal criminal jurisdiction. This one is a very serious one. First of all, it's good to bring back the history of this Obigbo massacre because it was very, very disheartening. It was very bad, and Wike actually was the one that gave the instruction for all of that to happen. So now with what these people, inter-society has done, the question is, the international community, are they to be trusted? Can they carry out this request? No, I doubt, because a lot of them are also happy with what's happening in Nigeria so that they'll continue to dominate Nigeria and they'll continue to exploit Nigeria. On the other hand, APC government and which people can ban Wike from participating in politics and holding public office. I don't see anybody that can do it in Nigeria because APC government loves him and he's doing a very good service for them now, so they won't do that. But it's good that there is a unified document that is showing exactly what transpired and what the request of the public and the voiceless is to that effect. Somebody saying Atiku would have just managed this man to get things done, but he go bring Okowa. So what? So because they did not make Wike vice presidential candidate, that is the reason that he's causing problem everywhere. No. So the fact is that even though Atiku himself did not actually, shouldn't have actually come out as president, since they already, or presidential candidates, they already agreed that the presidency should come to the south. And Wike wouldn't have accepted being a vice president Atiku because he wanted to be president himself as well. So it was a complex situation. And the same person is saying all these distractions, Wike go do 8 years with APC, nothing they happen. Now our years they waste just playing with. Abi? Now our years they play with. Don't be deceived. Not be smart, this man, the thing is very, very serious. The chief middleman to Nigerian corrupt judiciary, of course. The guy is playing a very serious middleman role between INEC, APC, and Tinubu himself. I wonder how, and he kept on destroying PDP where he says it belonged. Obviously, Wike is a link between INEC chairman and Tinubu, and also the link between justices and the Tinubu. This man is the real face of corruption and destruction of Nigeria. Anyone that is saying it without including Tinubu, that said fight, snatch, grab, and run away with it in election, they will include him. This is very good news. I just pray and hope it is true. That is, the information might be true, but implementing it might be difficult. That is it, because they are the same. Someone saying Wike is too noisy. The thing is serious. Okay, so now that they have written, I just hope that something will happen. Somebody say get him arrested and jailed like the corrupt Mefiele. So the issue here is that they have requested. We just hope that they can. Thank you for listening and let's have a comment.